military powerful moves in the last few weeks?
Well, their capability has been crippled. Their nuclear program has completely been decimated, sent them back decades. And I think it's very clear that President Trump said under his watch, Iran will never get a nuclear weapon. And after Operation Midnight Hammer, they're certainly not going to get a nuclear weapon under President Trump's watch or for the next 10 or 20 years, for that matter, on this pace. So it was a resounding success that we had in Iran. That was a situation that could have spiraled out of control, but because of Trump's decisive actions, his bold actions, it's actually going to lead to the Iranians and Israelis having a peace deal. And I've said this before, the last administration, President Trump should have been given a Nobel Peace Prize for the Abraham Accords. He should certainly be eligible now for a Nobel Peace Prize for what his efforts have been in Iran and Israel.
Well, that's right. And Benjamin Netanyahu nominated President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, as did New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, among others. So many have recognized the president's incredible leadership on all of this. I want to get your take on the border. Hundreds of people reportedly expected to be arrested in Southern California this week after an immigration raid at that cannabis farm, leading to violent protests. Now, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, criticized the raid. He writes this: kids running from tear gas, crying on the phone because their mother was just taken from the fields. But CBP Commissioner Rodney Scott said this: 10 juveniles were found at that marijuana facility. All of them were illegal. 8 of them were unaccompanied. It's now under investigation for child labor violations as well as everything else. This is Newsom's California. Your reaction?
Well, that's exactly right. We have to understand that what we saw at the border under the last administration was a humanitarian crisis, and was a crisis that was brought upon by the policies of the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. You were seeing children that were being brought into this country unaccounted for, used in these labor practices illegally. So what President Trump is doing, what Homeland Security is doing, and specifically is addressing the chaos that was brought about by the weakness of the last administration. And if someone's here illegally, they should be deported. If there's a company that's using child labor, then they should pay the consequences of the law, and we should try to make sure that those children are cared for. But what you're seeing is a correction of the disaster that was the last 4 years with the Biden administration.
So what about these attacks on our ICE agents? A manhunt is underway for a man accused of shooting at officers during an ambush at that Texas ICE center earlier this week. ICE agents are also fighting off masked mobs outside of San Francisco immigration court this week. Democrats are fighting for a bill that would force agents to unmask, Congressman.
Well, just talking about the mask, it's pretty ironic.